LA This Week. A thought-provoking exhibition focuses on our walls, both internal and external. That's coming up. Council District 9 high school students compete to help keep the community clean in a new MyLA 311 app contest. And even though he's 75, Smokey Bear's fire safety message is more important than ever. That's up next. Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. Here's what's happening on LA This Week. Domestic violence comes in all forms, and many victims may not even recognize it's happening to them. In the latest conversation with Mike, the city attorney talks to a group of experts to talk about what victims need to watch out for.
This is going to be an interesting conversation because I think it's going to turn on its head some members of the listening audience's perspectives on what domestic violence is. Discussions of domestic violence center on what we think of as violence, but there are many other more subtle aspects to domestic abuse.
Within time, you realize he's isolating you from your friends and your family. He's almost brainwashing you.
One who can control his victim will never have to raise his hand because he will have exerted control through these other means.
It's like if this person is so aggressive and they pick fights with all the people that are in your life, then it's almost like you're apologizing for their behavior and their presence. And so the isolation starts to happen over time where it's like, well, I don't want to inconvenience other people, or this person is so passionate or so aggressive that then I'm losing relationships along the way.
One of the most significant aspects of our practice in the city attorney's office is to stand up for victims of domestic violence. We have a special unit that is devoted to going to court and prosecuting cases of domestic violence.
Are you a vegan? If so, you may soon have some plant-based foods at all city venues and other entertainment facilities. City leaders are making a big push to make sure vegan is on the menu.
We've had an increase of about 600% just between 2014 and 2017 of the number of people that identify as vegans. And yet when they're at the airport, when they're at sporting events, and other places, they often aren't able to find an option to eat.
This motion is very simple. It directs our city facilities, from the airport to the zoo, to have a vegan option for all of its patrons.
We want them to have convenient plant-based options at every public venue, particularly at LAX.
Option is the most powerful word. Until we have options and access to make better choices, we can't systemically address the climate crisis.
Each vegan menu item is a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions.
The meat production industry produces 15% of our planet's greenhouse gas emissions.
Animal agriculture is literally killing our planet.
This motion keeps Los Angeles at the forefront of the vegan movement. We look forward to a final yes vote in December.
The number of people becoming vegan is increasing every year. Speaking of health, as we all age, experts say we become more susceptible to illness and memory loss. But there are still steps we can take to combat the effects and live healthier lives.
We're here with Dr. Nadine Diaz and Dr. Giselle Petzinger from the USC Keck School of Medicine, Department of Neurology, and we're going to talk a little bit about memory and aging.
One of the things that we know with aging is that we get disorders of memory as we get older, and there are two in particular that are common, one of which is Alzheimer's disease, and the other is Parkinson's disease.
This disease is the most heart-wrenching. It's the bad news disease because there's no cure. Right now in America, 5.8 million Americans have Alzheimer's disease. Every 65 seconds, someone is developing Alzheimer's disease.
However, in the same time, what's been really exciting is the whole idea of what role lifestyle plays. And specifically when I'm talking about lifestyle, I'm talking about exercise.
Okay, and so what is it showing? What is the relationship between exercise and the way the brain works as it relates to memory and aging?
Right, so great question. We've been interested in the Parkinson's field and looking at a different type of exercise, and that would be what we'd call more skill-based. So whether that be Tai Chi or yoga or boxing, I'm involving more processing or problem solving. And the idea there is that it's a type of learning. So learning creates circuitry related to thinking, and in that context maybe repairing areas of the brain affected by these disease states.
And a lot of the things you're talking about seem really simple, and I think it's a matter of just educating people around these ideas and these concepts. I want to thank Dr. Diaz and Dr. Petzinger for joining us and sharing with us a little bit more about memory and aging. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
A new powerful exhibit at the Annenberg Space for Photography takes an in-depth look at the meaning of walls and how these borders can separate or bring people together.
This exhibition, Walls, Defend, Divide, and the Divine, is on view at the Annenberg Space for Photography. We were coming up on the 30th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. That moment in history was pivotal for our generation because it was this moment where it felt like the entire world was coming together. There was a period of quiet, and then all of a sudden, new walls started to be built around the world in earnestness. And so just as we're about to prepare for this anniversary, there's all this focus in the United States on building a wall between the US and Mexico. It just seemed at odds that we were both celebrating the wall in Berlin coming down and yet anxiously urging for new walls to be built. These are 3 walls, each with a word on each one. One says resentment, one says judgment, and one says doubt. And the hope is that visitors will come and engage with the wall, suggesting a meditative practice that helps us consider how these emotional barriers are first constructed within ourselves.
I never really thought that walls could really be that many different things, and this exhibit really truly represents all of them and gets an inside look into how they separate, but how they can also bring people together and how to bring down those walls. It's also a really spiritual thing for a lot of people, so I loved that.
People should be allowed to integrate, to be as one, to work out their problems face to face instead of behind these divides.
The exhibit runs through December 29th. The Reelabilities Film Festival showcases the talents of people of all abilities and gives them a chance to showcase their work. The 3-day festival celebrates and embraces the diversity of the shared human experience.
You have a young boy with Down syndrome in the middle of nowhere.
All right, well, while you've been doing paperwork, we've been doing something called living. Oh, man!
Anytime you make something and it comes out better than you expect, it's really rewarding, and I had really high expectations.
It's a very optimistic, positive story. There's a lot of humor involved. It has a lot of great cinematic qualities.
The Reelabilities Film Festival is about making sure the real, authentic lives of people with disabilities are shown on screen in Hollywood and beyond. The City of Los Angeles is committed to making sure people with disabilities have job opportunities in front of and behind the camera. It's been a lot of work, but honestly, once it started rolling, it just was easy to put together.
Over the years, we've all heard Smokey Bear's fire safety messages on TV, but now as he celebrates his 75th birthday, augmented reality is being used to educate the younger generation and get kids involved through their mobile devices.
Now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
We're here celebrating Smokey Bear's 75th anniversary and the importance of that message here in LA and across the nation. We can and should be preventing wildfires that are man-created.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
We have natural fires, that's a part of the normal ecosystem, but we can and we should safeguard our beautiful forests and great outdoors places against careless fires. We know that the current generation of kids use their phones and other kinds of computers to be able to learn, and so we're following them in that pattern.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
For more info on playing the game, visit agentsofdiscovery.com. Metrolink recently hosted a puppy pop-up event at Union Station for Guide Dogs of America in an effort to spotlight guide dogs and what goes into their training.
We are here today to help raise awareness of the importance of guide dogs for people who are blind and visually impaired. When we go through the world as someone who's sighted, it's really easy to underestimate all of the obstacles that might be in your path.
Many people who are visually impaired rely on public transportation, and Metrolink is a partner with them in order to get where they need to go. And so people with service animals, trained service animals, are certainly welcome on Metrolink. We're fully ADA compliant.
For every working guide dog team that you see out in the world, that guide dog started off in the home of a volunteer puppy raiser, and we always need volunteer puppy raisers to join our program.
They become a member of your family, and they become part of your heart.
You have people who can't see, who are going through cancer, who can't use their senses, mobility and everything like that. What better than a beautiful puppy with more love in their heart than anything in this world to show you the way.
Yep. Ta-da.
Yep. For more info on becoming a volunteer, visit guidedogsofamerica.org. As part of a continuous effort to clean up South Los Angeles, Councilman Curran Price kicked off Don't Trash CD9, a local challenge pitting high school students against one another for a chance to win $5,000.
I take 2 buses just to get to school, and I notice how there's trash everywhere in our community, and I really want to put an end to it.
Every month for the next 5 months, through May of next year, it'll be a monthly challenge that the schools will be competing for. The thought was, well, let's get our youth involved in a way that gives them some incentive to go out and spread the word and do what's important. And we know how important youth are in, helping to provide leadership in a number of issues, number of areas, including the environment.
Every single day as I walk in the streets, I see a lot of trash, pollution, etc. Now, this is a big problem in my community and in everybody else's community, especially South Central. If you come to our campus, you will not find a single piece of trash on our floor because we are very prideful and we are full of love. We love the earth and we love each other.
The school that records the most number of 311 service requests is going to be the winner of the month. It's pretty straightforward, right? If you see some trash, what are you going to do? You're going to report it.
It's critical currently since all the homeless encampments and graffiti and trash on the streets to keep their communities clean. And we're here, 311 is here to assist them.
The effort is meant to spark a movement driven by teenagers to help keep their neighborhoods clean. Thousands of young people take to the streets in downtown LA for a climate rally. Council President Herb Wesson takes a bold move to spur more affordable housing in LA, and a new fire station opens its doors in Van Nuys. All this in City V. Hundreds of climate activists gathered outside City Hall, protesting oil drilling and fossil fuel production. The activists marched from City Hall to Governor Gavin Newsom's Los Angeles office. 16-year-old Swedish teen Greta Thunberg was the keynote speaker at the rally. Thunberg has become the face of the climate crisis, organizing dozens of other protests in her country.
I will never understand how they can put short-term interests above human lives, above the planet itself, and our very future.
I think this is the best kind of education for them to get, to be really directly involved in activism and again learn how to speak for themselves.
To join forces with all these wonderful people to, sort of magnify our voice and let it be known that we care and we have to move away from fossil. We have to make change.
LA City Council President Herb Wesson has introduced a new motion to restrict the use of city-owned land classified for housing purposes to development of 100% affordable housing units. The motion will be sent to the Housing Committee, where it will be expected to be heard in the coming weeks. After championing the construction of a much-needed state-of-the-art fire station to serve Van Nuys and the San Fernando Valley, Councilwoman Nuri Martinez joined LAFD Chief Ralph Terrazas and Councilmember Paul Krikorian for the grand opening of Fire Station 39. The event also included a pancake breakfast with community members. Folks in Pacoima, along with Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez, came together for a 2-day Dia de los Muertos festival to honor their loved ones and celebrate family.
This Dia de los Muertos celebration is our 3rd annual. It really is a unique opportunity for the community to come together and celebrate the stories and the legacies of the many family members that we want to pay tribute to and have made such an indelible mark in our lives.
By offering this tradition, we're basically offering remembrance to our ancestors.
And that's what makes this event so beautiful, because it crosses cultural boundaries. It makes sure that everyone can tell the story of those members of the families that we've loved, and I think it keeps their memories alive, and that's what Dia de los Muertos is all about.
It's just a good way to help people heal and remember those who we lost. The aroma of the marigold and the burning of incense, the music. There's pan de muerto, there's water, so when the soul reaches here, it has water, it has something to eat.
When I lost my grandma, she was very important to me, and I still keep her alive with this tradition going on every year. And people that pass now, we still put their picture, and then we still make them live in our hearts and remember them.
It's nice that they could come visit us on this day.
For those who couldn't make it to Pacoima for the festivities, there were plenty of Dia de los Muertos action in downtown LA at the Grand Avenue All Access Arts event.
The LA Opera is excited to be a part of the annual Grand Avenue Arts Celebration. It's a once-a-year celebration where all of the arts organizations on Grand Avenue get together and have open houses for the community. Grand Park is having a wonderful event for Dia de los Muertos, which is a part of the Music Center. But all together, it's just a big celebration on everything going on.
It's our culture. We've had family members that have passed away, so we want to keep their memory alive. So we dress up and do their faces, half of it live and half of it deaf.
I think it's great. We were just down on Olvera Street. It was beautiful. It was happening. It was people. I love all of the honoring of all of the people that came before us.
Ethnically, I am Middle Eastern. I'm from Iran. My culture doesn't have anything like this that parallels it so much. So coming out here to kind of see what Dia de los Muertos is all about. I have a lot of friends that do celebrate it, so it's kind of neat to see what their culture is all about.
In Los Feliz, art and community came together for a day of self-expression and creativity at a very unique art festival.
It's important for me to be here today just to celebrate the art, the community, and a sense of commitment and connection to the neighborhood.
Everyone has their own opinion and views on what they feel is art and or beautiful, and it's these little things in life that that you don't necessarily focus on that bring joy to people. It's whether it's like looking at a nice painting or listening to some good music. I feel like it's good for oneself.
The Festival for All Skid Row Artists is a two-day block party of performing and visual art with plenty of music, showcasing the diverse range of talents among Skid Row residents.
The Los Angeles Poverty Department is an arts group based in Skid Row. And about 10 years ago, we reacted to the fact that there's not enough opportunity for artists in Skid Row. Everybody who's in here lives in the community, whether they live inside or whether they live outside, they're members of the community. The beautiful thing is there are a lot of people who participate regularly, but an equally beautiful thing is there are people who've never been here before. They come, they get involved, and they get hooked up with other things in the neighborhood. And it makes a lot of connections on a person-to-person level.
A lot of people are sad down here. They're without their families and friends. I mean, a lot of people have felt short of their glory, but we bring them back together and stand them back up. And then they say, what do I do now? Well, we ask them, what's your talent? Today is a very important day for people to come together in Skid Row. People that live down here in apartments, on the streets in tents. We are a family down here. So this is our opportunity to come together and party and have a wonderful time. Slept in a doorway for 8 years when I got out of my first marriage. I lost everything. And when I come down here, I feel like I'm a part of it. They give me courage and strength to keep believing in myself.
These events help to display the positive aspects of community, because we are a community.
If these people can come and give their love and their time, I think I can do it too, because I think we've all been there, but we came back to give back.
Enjoy a Medusa musical, get your heart pumping with 10 days of modern dance, and indulge your sweet tooth at a dessert festival. All this and things to do. The Getty Villa and Deaf West Theater are proud to present Medusa, a musical. The young, reluctant, and deaf hero Perseus embarks on a perilous quest to slay the snake-haired Medusa. This epic showdown between Perseus and Medusa comes to life as a musical fantasy told in Deaf West Theater's signature style of singing and signing. Don't miss Medusa, the musical, happening November 16th and 17th at the Getty Villa. For more info, visit getty.edu. The LA Dance Project presents LA Dances, a festival presenting historical and contemporary works. The event features 10 Los Angeles premieres of dance works that showcase collaborations with LA-based visual artists. LA Dances is the LA Dance Project's dedication to the city it calls home and its creative collaborators. So be sure to check out LA Dances Festival. For details, visit ladanceproject.org. Because dessert is always a good idea, Dessert Goals is back with the Los Angeles Dessert Fest. So what's in store for 2019? The Dai Tiki Edition. Angelinos will see one of the biggest festivals yet, over 2 back-to-back weekends. So get your tie-dye and tropical prints ready and meet or drop by the Los Angeles Dessert Fest at Evolve Project in Echo Park on November 9th, 10th, 16th, and 17th. The festivities begin at noon each day. To get more info, visit their listing on Eventbrite. Ladies, get ready for Intro to Action Filmmaking for Female Filmmakers. This workshop, moderated by the Chimera Project's founding member America Young, is focused on helping to bring more women to the action genre. Attend a panel of pro stunt coordinators offering their invaluable insight and experience. Then take part in an educational demo with pro stunt performers on how to shoot a simple fight scene. Select attendees will have hands-on experience filming with our pro guests. Intro to Action Filmmaking for Female Filmmakers happens Saturday, November 16th. For tickets, visit their listing on Eventbrite. And that's a look at some things to do. That's it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more of LA This Week.